This is a very, very serious development, obviously, of American bombs falling over Nigerian territory. It will be discussed not only in Nigeria, but all over Africa. People will be discussing the implications. Every peace-loving Nigerian, and that is most of us, would like to see the terrorists and the bandits and the insurgents and all the other criminals wiped out. And since around 2009, with the beginning of the Boko Haram crisis, we had been appealing to the Western powers and the other international powers for help in order to defeat this problem. And they had been resisting, giving all kinds of reasons about human rights and all that. But in the last 2 months or so, President Donald Trump in particular had been threatening to carry out these attacks, which he has finally done. And there are several issues around that, beginning with the sovereignty issue. But of course, the Nigerian government has said that it cooperated. Okay, so at least that partially addresses the issue of sovereignty. But then there are other issues, like the choice of targets was also curious, because if you say the attack was directed at ISIS, one would have thought that the part where the bombs dropped, southeastern Sokoto state, is the relatively safe part of Sokoto state, and that in Sokoto state too, it is the northeastern part adjoining Zamfara state where the bandits and terrorists are most active, right into Zamfara state and the western part of Kebbi state. And also, it is in the northeast specifically that we have the ISWAP, which is openly paying allegiance to ISIS, as well as the Boko Haram. Boko Haram does not pay allegiance to ISIS, but they have the same modus operandi, and they are the worst of the terrorist groups that we have, because if you remember, only 2 days ago on Wednesday evening, Boko Haram exploded a bomb in a crowded mosque after prayers in Maiduguri, and they killed several people and injured dozens of others. So one would have thought that if the Nigerian government assisted in the choice of targets, they should have directed it towards the deadliest of the terrorist groups, which is around Sambisa Forest and the Mandara Mountains adjoining Cameroon and Chad, and also the Lake Chad small islets in the Lake Chad basin, which is exactly where ISWAP is located. But of course, the bandits and the terrorists in the northwest are also very deadly, and they also ransack villages, abduct people, kill, and everything. So they are also legitimate targets, probably, although they shouldn't be the most important targets. Then there are other questions. For example, you know, President Donald Trump, his messaging complicates matters. The Trump administration is not exactly famous for helping communities. It even creates problems where problems do not exist. Like in South Africa, you say that there is genocide against white South Africans and you want to save them. That kind of messaging creates problems even where it does not exist. Okay, while the U.S. Defense Department is saying that this attack is targeted at ISIS, President Trump himself posted on social media that he is protecting Christians in Nigeria, a view that the Nigerian government has tried very strenuously to debunk, so that he does not create or rather compound our religious problems here in Nigeria. You see, I don't have any intelligence. I don't have any intelligence agency. But for the last 20 years, since the explosion of the terrorist problem in Nigeria, anybody knows that its central locus is in the northeast. That's where the camps are. That's where the terrorists come out in large numbers with huge arms, and they even overrun military bases. And since yesterday, since last night rather, when this attack took place, I am essentially from Sokoto State, and I have spoken to many people, and they also expressed surprise. The people in that locality, in Shagari local government, when they had explosions, they even thought it was a comet or some other extraterrestrial matter that fell, because as far as they are concerned, their area is relatively safe. But of course, as you said, the intelligence people may have better information. However, as far as we can see, the biggest terrorist camps are around Lake Chad and the Mandara Mountains and in the northeast. And that one is not speculation, because in the last 20 years, we have seen how they launch major attacks, even overrun military bases and confiscate arms. And even 2 days ago, they carried out a terrible terrorist outrage in a mosque in Maiduguri. So it is not speculation if we say this is the area that we think. But of course, if the intelligence agencies, with the help of Nigerian intelligence, think they have got better information, that is fine. Let them act on it.
Okay, two things.